Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your Emotional Support Podcast. I'm Noelle Rizzio, and I'm so glad you're here today because today we are talking about something that affects almost every single one of us at some point in our lives, our relationship with our body. And honestly, this relationship can have a massive impact on our feelings of self-worth. Because whether or not we realize it, many of us were taught directly or indirectly that our body determines our value. That if we lose weight, gain muscle, look younger, have clearer skin, dress a certain way, or fit into a specific size, then we'll feel worthy, then we'll feel lovable, then we'll finally feel confident. But the problem is, self-worth built on appearance is incredibly fragile. Bodies change, life changes, aging happens, stress happens, pregnancy happens, illness happens, hormones happen, grief happens, life happens. And if your worth is tied to your appearance, every natural change can start to feel like a personal failure instead of just being human. So today I want us to talk about how to build a healthier relationship with our bodies, why body acceptance matters for our mental health, and how learning to love, or at least respect your body, can dramatically improve your self-worth. Because your body is not a decoration. It is not your resume. It is not your value as a human being. Your body is your home. And I think many of us deserve a softer relationship with our bodies. So why does body image affect our self-worth so deeply? I think there are a lot of answers to that question. But from a very young age, we absorb messages about our body. We see who gets praised. We see who gets attention. We see who is portrayed as desirable and who is mocked. Who is the before and who is the after. And over time, many of us begin to internalize this belief that if my body looks acceptable, then I am acceptable. And that is such a painful burden to carry because every mirror becomes a performance review. Every picture becomes evidence. Every shopping trip becomes emotional. And suddenly your self-worth rises and falls depending on how you feel about your appearance that day. That is exhausting. And unfortunately, it can also lead to anxiety, depression, perfectionism, obsessive comparison, even disordered eating, social withdrawal, and that constant feeling that I'm not good enough. I think one of the hardest parts is that body dissatisfaction has become so normalized that people almost bond over it. People insult themselves casually all the time. I look terrible. I hate my stomach. I need to lose weight. I look so old. I can't wear that. We even joke about it. And sometimes we say things so automatically, we don't even realize how cruel we are actually being to ourselves. I think I've talked about this before. When I worked in the school, there was a group of us that would all have morning coffee together. We would talk about our lives, talk about whatever, talk about new trends and this and that. And somehow every single day there was a comment made about someone's appearance. Of course, they made it about themselves because we weren't like chastising each other, but we were also complimenting each other too. And in that compliment, there was a lot of times a disclaimer, a rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? Like if I said, "Oh, I really love your shirt," there would be a, "Oh, yeah, I don't know. Does it make me look this way or that way?" You know what I mean? We weren't taking the compliments. We would always have some sort of thing to say about our bodies. Imagine talking to someone you love the way you talk to your own body or talk about your own body. Most of us would never do that, right? Your body is not the problem. I want to say something that may really matter to someone listening today. Your body is not the enemy. I'm going to say that again. I like to repeat the important stuff. Your body is not the enemy. The problem is often the impossible standards that we've been taught to chase. We're trying to achieve filtered, edited, curated, often unrealistic versions of humanity. And social media has made this even harder because now we don't just compare ourselves to celebrities or, people we see in magazines or on TV. We compare ourselves to everyone. But we're comparing our real bodies to carefully selected images and often edited images. That comparison will almost always steal your peace. And the truth is, you do not need to earn your worthiness through your appearance. You do not need to hate yourself into becoming someone else. And actually, research consistently shows that shame rarely creates lasting, healthy change. Self-compassion does. Okay. There's a difference between loving your body and loving every part of your body. Okay. I also want to say this because it's very important. Body love does not have to mean standing in front of a mirror every morning screaming, I love everything about my body. I am perfect. Okay. For many people, that feels unrealistic because for most of us, it is. Sometimes body acceptance starts smaller. It starts with neutrality. Instead of saying, I hate my body, maybe move towards, my body carries me through life. Or my body deserves care even if I'm struggling to love it. Or something like, I can appreciate what my body does for me. That still matters. You don't have to force yourself into that toxic positivity. You just need to stop treating your body like the enemy. So let's talk about some practical ways to improve your body image and your self-worth. First, notice the way you speak to yourself. This is often where we start with a lot of our self-worth stuff. Start paying attention to that internal dialogue, what you say to yourself. Would you say those things to a child? Would you say those things to your best friend? Would you say those things to someone that you deeply love? I'm guessing that the answer is probably no. Our brains absorb repetition. So if you constantly criticize yourself, your brain starts accepting those thoughts as facts. Try replacing harsh criticism with gentler language. Not fake, not forced, just kinder and softer. The second thing I want you to do is curate your social media. This one is huge because this will help with that comparison piece. If someone's content constantly makes you feel inadequate, anxious, ashamed, or obsessed with your appearance, you are allowed to unfollow them. Protecting your mental health is not petty. Fill your feed with people who promote authenticity, diversity, healing, humor, joy, and real life. Your environment matters more than you think. What you expose yourself to matters so incredibly much. The third thing you can do is focus on function, not just appearance. So ask yourself, what does my body do for me? Your legs help you walk through life. Your arms allow you to hug people. Your lungs breathe breath for you. Your heart beats. Your body carries you through those hard days. Your body has done some very incredible things, right? If you've had children, holy moly, right? If you have, overcome cancer or, another illness, that is incredible. Okay. Your body has done amazing things for you. That perspective shift can be incredibly healing. The fourth thing is to stop waiting to live your life. So many people postpone joy until they fix their body, right? We've all done this before. Well, I'm going to wait because I'm working on, losing some weight. So I'm going to wait and take that vacation for another couple months. Or I'm going to maybe wait to get married until I can fit into this certain dress size. Okay. This is postponing joy. You may avoid pictures or avoid dating or swimming, maybe certain events, or you maybe avoid wearing clothes that you like. Please do not put your life on hold while waiting to become worthy enough to participate in it. I'm going to say that again because I really love that. Please do not put your life on hold while waiting to become worthy enough to participate in it. Because guess what? You already are. You deserve those experiences now, not 10 pounds from now, not after a makeover, not after changing yourself. Right now. You deserve those experiences right now. The last thing that I want you to do is practice respecting your body, even on days that you don't feel beautiful. Body respect can look like a lot of things. It looks like getting enough sleep, feeding yourself consistently, moving your body because it feels good. Not necessarily exercise, although that is good as well, but moving your body because it feels good. It feels good to take a walk outside when, it's just getting nice out. It feels good to, take a walk in maybe like a beautiful park when the flowers are blooming. Okay. Maybe going to doctor's appointments, wearing comfortable clothes, resting when needed, and respecting your body matters too. You have to respect your body first before you can love it. So when you stop tying your worth entirely to appearance, something powerful happens. You become emotionally freer. You stop obsessing over every flaw. You stop chasing perfection quite so desperately. You stop needing constant validation. And your self-worth starts becoming rooted in deeper things like your character or your kindness, your resilience, maybe your humor or your values, maybe your relationships or your heart. That kind of self-worth is so much more stable because beauty standards are always going to change, but your humanity matters regardless of what those beauty standards are. I want to leave you with this today. Your body has been with you through every hard moment of your life. It has carried stress, heartbreak, loss, exhaustion, healing, joy, growth. And maybe instead of constantly asking, how do I make my body more lovable? We can start asking, how do I become more loving towards my body? That shift changes everything. You do not have to look perfect to deserve love. You do not have to earn worthiness through your appearance. You do not have to punish yourself into belonging. Your worth was never supposed to depend on a number, a size, or a mirror. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, feel free to share it with someone who might need this reminder too. As always, please remember, you are worthy exactly as you are. And I am so glad you're here. I will talk to you next time.